What's up, Renegade Nation? Before we begin the video, I'd like to give a big shout out to our most recent Patreon supporters, Daniel Roden, Apache Overlord, Alec Eccentric, Tech Snow, Ross Lingard, and John. Thank you all so much for your support, and if you want to support us on Patreon, feel free to check out the link down below to find out more. Thanks again.
I just read the title.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to yet another episode of Renegades React. And Internet Historian seems to be someone who is on our to-do list, especially when it comes to some of the videos on here, including the failure of Dashcon, the world's first Tumblr convention. What you heard is what Micah just read, and Micah cringed very hard from it.
Like, who even shows up to that? Like,
you'd be surprised.
I mean, I feel like the whole point of an online message board is like you don't, like, you just, it's out there and instantly accessible. You don't have to go outside.
Yeah, well, I know about Dashcon. I've looked into Dashcon. There was actually a big investigation into it because of certain things, which you'll find out about. But you'll be very affirmated with a certain phrase. Jump in the pit. Okay. You'll understand whenever it happens.
How would you think a convention based off of Tumblr would go?
I think the vendors would show up with absolutely nothing because they'd be afraid someone would get offended by something that they brought.
Well, I feel like you'd have to, like, limit it to, like, you know, the different tracks would be dedicated to, like, the different message boards or, like, really popular. I mean,
I guess.
Right? So it's like, because if you had, like, a 4chan board, you'd have to have one for, like, the weirdos that are on random, but then there'd be, like, a political board and then, like, video games, right?
Yeah, our poll.
Tumblr's more of a personal blog site.
Oh.
Like, there's not really message boards per se. It's just people share stuff.
Oh, well, then that's horrible then. Like, obviously it would fail. Like,
well, I guess, well, people keep asking us to watch more Internet Historian, and why the hell not? I mean, I've always enjoyed the stuff by him, so let's see here. And, good God, let's see the failure of Dashcon.
In March of 2013, a group of Tumblr users come up with a brilliant idea. Dashcon, a convention specifically for and by Tumblr users. This is their story. Dashcon, hosted at the Renaissance Marriott in Chicago. Only $65 for the weekend. Epic panel lineup. Welcome to Night Vale reading. LGBTQIP2SAA+. Massive ball pit. Steam-powered giraffe live show. The Baker Street Babes. And friendly memes? You bet. Expect 5,000 people. We'll see you there. Whoosh. Here comes Friday, and a big fat serving of reality. About 500 people show up at 9 AM, but nothing is scheduled until 1 PM, so people just wait around for the next 4 hours.
So at what point did you decide that this is what you wanted to do with your life? The thug life chose you?
Turns out Steam-powered giraffe cancelled months ago. Sorry. If you bought special tickets, no refunds though, lol. Check out the games room. 1 TV, 1 console. Perfect for up to 7,000 people. Here's that ball pit you were looking forward to.
Free Palestine! Death to Israel! Death to Israel! Free Palestine!
Overall, it's a pretty fucking slow day.
Okay, so you're dressed up as the Batman movie shooter. What made you choose this costume? What made you decide to dress up as the Prime Minister of Israel to this convention?
I say dress for the job you want.
Then by 9 PM, disaster strikes. The bill for the venue hasn't even been paid. The hotel wants it immediately or the doors will be shut and the convention is over.
what? Are you kidding me? Like, people, like, at this point are actually giving money?
Put your damn fingers down. Put your damn fingers down, you nerds.
But they raised the money, and the con continues.
Are you serious?
Saturday,
Stupid
artists and
fuckers.
stallholders who paid $150 each for their tables aren't selling anything because their customers just donated all of their cash. Tumblers turned on the convention completely.
The destruction of this
convention
is dedicated to all of the women whose
bank account
have been ruined and ruled by it.
money.
I'm tired of you making me
Donate to PayPal.
They call Dashcon a scam and try to have certain events shut down. Mark Does Stuff, a gay Hispanic panelist, is sent death threats because they think he's a straight white male who's misappropriating the gay for profit. Pacific Rim is illegally played to an audience of 100. Tumblr sends tweets to Del Toro to get them in trouble. The Dr. Horrible sing-along blog sing-along is cancelled due to copyright concerns. Then, the main event. As long as we get to see a live reading from Welcome to Night Vale, it'll all be okay.
We're here for the live reading of Welcome to the Night Vale. It is 12:50 right now, and they're still not here.
Okay, so basically, Night Vale just walked. What? We're all gonna sign together, okay? So 1, 2.
While everyone is still sitting in that room waiting for the show to start, they change the rules on the website so that there are no refunds. But don't worry, there's a silver lining. Everyone who paid extra to see Welcome to Night Vale is entitled to a free extra hour in the ball.
This is what your $17,000 went to.
And with that, a meme is born.
Yep.
By the early afternoon, the vendors pack up and leave. Some shitty panels happen.
Q&A, where they give us too small of a table and not enough chairs. So, pansexual, polysexual, omnisexual, fluid.
Because again, they don't have any cash, they're giving out free hotel mints as prizes. The teenage unpaid helpers, who are promised free meals, aren't given anything and go hungry. There's a full-on organizer meltdown, and Tumblr finds out that the main artwork used for the convention is in fact stolen copyright material. By the evening, the unthinkable happens. The ball pit starts to deflate, and someone pisses in it.
Oh.
Sunday, the ball pit is taken away. Also, Tumblr finds out that Random Acts, a charity that Dashcon claims to be partnered with, isn't in fact partnered at all. Which means, by the way, they've just been pocketing the money. The organizers host an official apology panel.
Part of that is on us. There were a lot of mistakes made on a lot of different people's parts, and we take full responsibility for the parts that were us. We are first timers, but we intend to learn from our mistakes to make 2015 even better.
Yeah, like anybody's gonna come back.
So
I blame somebody, otherwise it's all my fault. Fuck that.
And
It is all
everything's
your
closed
fault.
by 1 p.m. Since Dashcon, there have been many rumors online that the whole thing was an out-and-out scam. So I did some detective work to see whether it was true. I think what I found proves that even if the staff didn't set out to scam people, they did opportunistically steal and lie. Prepare for some high-quality autism. Dashcon had a written agreement to pay $40,000 plus some change to the Renaissance Hotel Marriott. They paid $20,000 before the thing began, so they had a balance of $20,000 still remaining. They told the hotel that 5,000 to 7,000 people would be attending, and could they please pay as the door sales came in. As a financially risky move, the Marriott agreed verbally, but not in writing. On the first day, the hotel sees at most 1,000 people. They know that Dashcon's door sales are fucked, so they enforce immediate payment as per their written contract. Dashcon does not have the funds. And here's where it gets interesting. Dashcon claims they only have $3,000 in cash. So at 9 p.m, Dashcon staff gather everyone into one room to beg for the remaining $17,000. Let's do a head count. 33, 129, 120, maybe another 33 here in case there are people on the margin, and we'll add 10% to be generous. It's unlikely that there are more than 350 people in this room. Now, we know they reached their goal.
Almost got shut down.
Really?
We need to raise $17,000.
Really?
Yes.
That's pretty cool. Did you do it?
We did it in under an hour.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
They received donations by PayPal and cash, but only a small fraction in cash. Let's be generous and say 1/10 of the room at most. You can see people donating in the footage, and it's probably much less. So even if each cash donor is giving $20, which again, generous, that's only $700 total. Therefore, the other $16,000 or so is in electronic payments. Now let's look at this leaked list of transactions. Hold on. They made most of their payment in cash, almost $12,000, but they only could have got $700 from the donors, and they only had $3,000 in cash. So where did the rest of it come from? It's door sales revenue, not donations, meaning they lied about only having $3,000 in the first place. They actually had at least $10,000. Now, here are the transactions that come from the PayPal MasterCard. Let's take that from the total owed, and what we get is the following. In a best case scenario, of the donated $17,000, at most, they spent less than $7,000 keeping the place open, they spent over $2,000 on themselves and their own accommodation, and the remaining $9,000 or so, they pocketed. Also, they're liars.
Because I was on stage for an hour in front of 5,000 people in a room.
Is there 5,000 people here?
Delusional. Delusional.
Back to my post.
But there's one last thing I want to touch on. As part of the merchandising, an official Dashcon DVD is listed. And it's possible that a copy exists out there somewhere, and I need to find it. So I want to put a $100 bounty out for anyone who might have a copy. It doesn't need to be the physical DVD, just a copy of the file itself. The hunt is on.
Wow. That was super cringy.
Oh, God. The cringe. Oh, boy. Tumblr.
A lot of people that are what you would consider Tumblrites seem to have this opinion of themselves that they're just more intelligent than everyone else.
Yes.
So did those
and
people...
yet these dumb motherfuckers
Go on.
fell for this shit.
Yes.
Were the people that put on the event actually officially associated with the company that owns Tumblr, or were they just really famous Tumblr people that use their influence to get people to come?
Yes. The first one, no, they are not associate. Dashcon, there's a reason why they didn't call it like TumbleCon or
Right.
TumblerCon, is because Tumblr, the people who actually own the company, were like, no, we don't want to associate with convention. It's not officially ours.
Well, yeah, I feel like they would have to operate it as like a utility where everyone can use it, but that way they're not liable for what's actually said on it.
Yes.
As opposed to like a publisher where then they're curating the content, which would be impossible.
Yes, which that's why YouTube wants to fancy itself as a publisher and treats its posters like it's a publisher, but it's a utility.
Well, I mean, it is but isn't, but as long as they operate it like that, then they can claim, that they're not liable for any of the content on it. Which,
exactly, in which
I feel like is a better way to do it. That's what phone companies do. I mean,
yeah, exactly. That's that to me. That's the best thing to do. But for everything that happened at Dashcon, look. I'm not gonna pretend I know how it is to run a convention, but I've been in the room with people who run conventions and everything, and the number one thing that is absolutely 100% evident is that the people who own the venue, to them, money talks. And if you don't have the money for the venue, then what are you even doing trying to run a convention anyway?
What was he like? The game room had like what was that, like a
PlayStation,
one PlayStation 3 in there,
one PlayStation 3, and one TV.
Like,
that's it.
Wow.
That should have been the first clue when you walked in and saw that shit, that you're being scammed and you need to submit for your refund and leave.
Like, I feel like they're the version of like the elementary school when they do like the student elections, and like basically the kids they get up there and they just promise a whole bunch of crazy stuff they can't deliver on, but like you vote them in as like class president or whatever, and it doesn't matter because they're the president, and like they don't,
Yeah,
they don't put snack machines in and all this stuff. That, like, I mean, did you all have that when you were in school? Like,
yeah, I did.
Class elections. And
yeah, we
like,
had class elections.
They just promise ridiculous stuff that like they can't deliver on because we're all children, but somehow
I got
people
elected,
still buy into it.
I got elected. I think it was fight. Because how they had it was first place was president, second place was vice president, third place was like chief of the house, fourth place was secretary. It was like secretary of defense and stuff like that. I was, I think, secretary of defense. I got fourth place, but it's because I made a lot of the kids laugh, and they voted for me.
Like I remember like thinking how ridiculous it was because we had a kid like promising like, yeah, if I get elected, I'm gonna like have him install soda machines in the school, and it's like,
I'm legalizing everything.
It's just like this is, and I just thought it was stupid. I'm like, we're children, like you can't, like you don't have any money, like. But this is like the grown up version of that. I mean, really, it's like, oh, this is our game room, and somebody just, brings their PS3 from their dorm, like.
Yeah, it's like, dude. We promised people games. How many games do you have on your PlayStation 3? It's like, I think 15, maybe 20. Bring it, dude. Bring it. We need you to have it there so that people can play it and that we can say we have a game room. Okay. All right.
And I'd be like, hell no, I'm not letting a bunch of random people I don't know play my PlayStation.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of the footage from that guy, he was just like a troll who just went to see what a like dumpster fire was going to be.
And he got a lot of good footage. I think so. I think that's the truth because he kept, saying the normal stuff that they usually say on Tumblr and shit like that. Free Palestine, death to Israel, and all this, all that. It's like, oh, I make posts on Tumblr. This is the thug life. I'm like, no, it isn't. Don't even pretend you know what the thug life is. I actually saw someone I think it was 4chan. 4chan pulled off one of the most ultimate trolls of Tumblr ever. To be fair, Tumblr threw the first punch because Tumblr, what they did was they went onto 4chan and in poll and in the random board they just started posting like kitten pictures, cute pictures, selfies, and all that just to try and flood 4chan with a bunch of like cutesy stuff to try and teach 4chan a lesson.
You don't teach those guys a lesson. They're bananas.
4chan then gets it in their mind that, you know what? Let's wreck their shit.
You don't get in a poop throwing contest with a chimp. Like it's just
well,
a horrible idea.
Well, anyway, 4chan then goes on Tumblr and in every single tag they post gore. They post porn. They post all the nasty shit. To which Tumblr has the bright idea. Hey, you know what? In order to get all this stuff off the main boards and the tags, let's do nothing but post selfies. To which 4chan then took all of those selfies, spliced the faces out, and shopped it into hardcore porn. As you do.
Those guys don't mess around. They're
they
bananas.
Don't.
They are bananas.
They're freaking crazy. Jesus Christ. That's what gets me about and Tumblr, they after lighting the fire, then decided to play the victim.
Yep.
Just be like, we have no idea why 4chan is doing this to. I'm like,
because you're all a bunch of twats.
Well, I mean, that's like that guy on stage, like using all that hyperbole to make it sound like he was about to get rushed by a crowd of 5,000 people and how they saved the day. And it's like,
no, you didn't. You were in front of a crowd of at least, okay, let's be generous and say 500 people were in there. Let's just be generous. He was generous and gave them 350. I'm being even more generous and saying, okay, there were 500 people in there.
And even if the numbers were like way off and like each of those people walking up gave $100, it still doesn't like change those numbers enough. Like that was totally like massively from door sales, and they were lying about what they had. Like,
yes. Yeah. They were just trying to get more money.
That's
it.
messed up.
That is messed up. You should be ashamed of yourselves, Dashcon. In which Dashcon is dead and it's never happening again.
I mean, good. Like, I can't even believe they got on that panel and had the audacity to say that they were going to try again the next year. I mean,
right?
Goes to show you, man. I mean, it's just the air of confidence they have about themselves. You know, it's just like, we're in the right here. We're intellectually better than everybody else. I'm like, no, you're not. You're not intellectually better than me. You're not even intellectually better than a freaking dormouse. I mean, you're just another individual who's spouting pop cultural references and watches Sherlock too much and you think that Benedict Cumberbatch is actually a ninja. He's a great actor, but he's not a ninja. I'm sorry. There's people on there who are convinced, like fully convinced that that Benedict Cumberbatch is a god. To which I'm just like, no, he's just Benedict Cumberbatch. The man's a talented actor, but not a god.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised I didn't hear about this, but I'm not really mad I missed it, because it's just...
I'd be afraid to go to a convention like this. Don't get me wrong, I love the conventions I go to. I mean, I've had fun at every convention I've gone to.
I mean, I don't know. That one guy sounded like he had a pretty amusing time walking around talking to people.
Oh yeah, I bet he was having a blast.
I'm sure he had a great time with it.
Yeah, but if I were a vendor, like if someone asked me to be a vendor there, and they were just like, "Yeah, come on in. We'll give you a free table, and you all can sell your wares and everything." Drive all the way up there, sell nothing, and I'm eternally disappointed by the shit that they have going on there. And I have to drive all the way back. I'm like, nah. I'd be pissed. I'd be super pissed.
I'd be demanding compensation of some sort.
Yeah. As they say on Tumblr, how dare you make my gay eyes watch that straight shit. That was literally someone. I loved going on watching Tumblr devour itself when Samurai Jack, the last season of Samurai Jack happened, and Jack and Ashi kissed.
They were...
Tumblr lost its shit.
Why?
Tumblr was just like, how dare you? Jack is an asexual male. He's not supposed to have a romantic interest. And I'm like,
how dare you think you can decide what someone else is allowed to do with their characters or not?
Right.
Actually, someone actually did. You know that annoying clap thing? Like every time they say a word, they do the clap emote. To which,
like in other words, the most annoying thing in the whole fucking world.
Yeah, someone did that on
the thing that immediately makes me take you 0% seriously.
Well, someone did that. Someone did that on.
It's like you're talking to you like you're a dog.
Board.
Like,
yeah, someone did that on the board. They were just like, Samurai Jack is not. It is asexual. Leave him alone. To which someone went down below and said, make your own series, you entitled little fuck.
Yep.
To which, yeah, that's the truth. Like, all these people out there yelling, make it gay, you cowards. Make your own damn series, you fucking entitled little assholes.
Hey, guess what? Not everything has to be gay.
Hell, even George Takei said that. George Takei, one of the gayest men on the planet, who he himself said, actually, I can't repeat that because I'm afraid this video will get banned. But he's said some pretty messed up shit.
People are gonna give me shit too because they're gonna be like, "We're not talking about gay. We're talking about asexual." It's like not everything has to be non-cis.
Whatever your deal is,
yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah.
If you want it, write it yourself. I mean, there's a reason.
People have the right to write their characters the way they fucking want to, and you don't have the right to tell them that they're wrong for it.
It's too much. It's too much work. They just want people to pander to them, whatever.
Yes, and it's as the old story goes. You give a mouse a cookie, he's gonna want a glass of milk. You pander to the idiots like this, and they're going to only ask for more. You cannot pander to. That's just like Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Johansson the other day, I thought was actually going to like stand up to all the bullshit that people forced on her because, you know, she played the Major in Ghost in a Shell, which I thought she was actually one of the best parts of the film, and I think she looked a lot like Makoto.
Which the actual dude that wrote the series came out and said that he never intended for Major to be like of Japanese descent or anything.
Yeah,
well, in a lot of anime, like they're intentionally made to look, you know, like different
more
cultures.
Western.
Like, yeah, some of them are. I mean, because I think like the one guy, the
Bato.
Yeah, he's specifically Japanese. Like, I mean, he looks, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, yeah, Bato is Japanese, but he's tall. He's like very, very big, tall, white, got platinum blonde hair, and the guy that got to play him, Philo Asbeck, did really good as well, and everyone chiming in, trying to, you know, benefit from the outrage, like Jimmy Wong. Look, Jimmy, I thought you were funny in Video Game High School. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, this is why I've said if I ever make any kind of fictional series, pretty much, I am actually going to not disclose the sexuality of any of my characters, and if anybody asks, they're all going to be asexual.
Yeah.
It's going to be like, none of them have any interest in fucking anybody.
Yeah.
Like,
that's actually kind of
why? Because it doesn't fucking matter to the story that
I'm writing.
If it doesn't matter to the story, yeah. I mean,
well, that's actually the thing that about the story I've written. None of the characters really have anything like that.
Romantic
and I don't want
subplots
that.
are boring and overdone anyway.
Well,
so.
some of them are. Some of them are actually pretty interesting. But yeah, I get what you're saying. They're sometimes overdone to death, and it can get very annoying.
They're just shoehorned into fucking everything too. It's just for no fucking reason. Like, what was it we watched recently where I was like, "You just fucking met them like an hour and a half ago. Why are you making out?"
Well, that's true to humanity, though. People shoehorn romance into their lives, whether it benefits them or not.
Yeah,
a lot of times,
this is true. Well. This is very true.
Humans are, in fact, just animals.
We are compelled to breed
sexy, dirty animals.
Jesus. You know, someone's going to isolate you saying that, and that's now going to be like one of their ringtones.
Bring it on.
Or
it's not going to be any of the asexual people.
We can put that on a shirt too. Just Michael being like sexy, dirty animals.
Yeah,
just that was.
Well, actually, I need to get the image of him waving his hair up from that Patreon intro and doing the face, and just be like, dirty, sexy animals.
It popped into my
permission.
Of course, yeah, with his consent.
The CEO of Renum Industries from IT Crowd popped into my head when they were doing the calendar shoot.
Oh, no.
And he's like, you got to make it sexy, sexy, sexy. And then it's all the nerds from the IT department they photographed. And so they're like, they're panicking.
Yeah, Douglas Reinhold.
Because he kept like saying, like, he kept doing like the sexy, sexy, sexy thing like throughout the episode. And they're just like, oh no, we screwed up.
Yeah, we messed up. God. All right. Well, we're going to get out of here before Dashcon melts our brains any further. We hope that you enjoyed this. If you want to see more from Internet Historian, there's a link in the description down below. We'll take you to the original video. The guy has a lot of videos, a lot of different stuff. And, yeah, if you want to see us watch more Internet Historian and decipher all the shit that he brings up, feel free to let us know in the comments section down below or on our Discord, where we have a request channel, and we are more likely to see it there and take the requests more seriously there. So, again, thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, I'm Nate.
Micah.
I'm Nick.
We'll see you in the next one, everybody. Peace out.